Hi, I'm Jeff Richards, and welcome to Japan Today Spotlight, where we go deeper into the headlines you know and some you might have missed. Bear attacks in Japan have spiked dramatically in the past 2 years, and not just in the mountains. Bears have been spotted in homes, supermarkets, and on golf courses and farms, even strolling down streets and wandering onto airport runways. Several of those encounters have turned deadly, and authorities are warning citizens to be on high alert as hibernation season approaches. In this week's edition of Japan Today Spotlight, we'll look at where these bears are showing up, why Japan's situation is so different from other countries, what local governments are doing, and what you should do and shouldn't do if you ever meet a bear. According to recent government and wildlife studies, Japan now sees more bear attacks each year than the US, Canada, Russia, or any country in Europe. The Environment Ministry estimates the population of brown bears in Japan, which live only in Hokkaido, are about 11,700. Black bears, on the other hand, found in 34 of Japan's 47 prefectures, number roughly 44,000. Restrictions on hunting and a stronger focus on conservation have contributed to rising bear populations, according to Japan's Forest Research and Management Organization. Many recent sightings have been in northern Japan. The Shiretoko Peninsula in Hokkaido is home to 400 to 500 brown bears, one of the highest concentrations in the world. There were at least 2,500 brown bear sightings in that region in 2023. Bear attacks happen all over the world, but the numbers in Japan are striking. According to a 2024 study in Nature magazine, North America averages about 11 attacks per year. Europe sees around 18, Russia, Iran, and parts of Asia average around 19, though many go unreported. Compare that to Japan. The Environment Ministry says that between April 2023 and March 2024, 219 people were attacked by bears, 6 of them fatally. And by the end of this year, another 55 attacks and 3 more deaths had already been reported. That's more than the rest of the world combined, and it's becoming a regular pattern. Japan now sees more bear attacks annually than any other country in the world. So, what's driving it? One major reason is climate change. Their usual food sources, like acorns and berries, are becoming less reliable, forcing bears to venture further in search of calories. At the same time, rural Japan is emptying out. Aging populations and shrinking communities mean that once active farmland is being abandoned. That gives all wildlife easier access to quiet fields, unused buildings, and town edges. Experts also point to a behavioral shift. Some bears are now raising their cubs closer to human settlements. That means younger bears grow up with less fear of people and more curiosity about human spaces. There's also the unique case of northeastern Japan. After the 2011 nuclear disaster, Fukushima's exclusion zone was evacuated and never fully re-inhabited. More than a decade without people has turned it into an accidental wildlife refuge. Species like wild boar, macaques, and tanuki, or raccoon dogs, have flourished there. And although bear-specific data is limited, the same rewilding trend likely applies, allowing them to expand into surrounding areas. This past June, a bear wandered onto the runway at Yamagata Airport, grounding flights. Even in Tokyo, outer suburbs like Okutama, Tama, and Ome have seen a spike in sightings, 70 between April and August alone. Some of these encounters have turned deadly. Just this August, a male hiker was killed and dragged away by a brown bear on Mount Rausu in Hokkaido. Nearby, a mother bear and 2 cubs were found and then shot by hunters. Other recent fatalities include a newspaper delivery man and a hunter in his 50s, also both in Hokkaido. And in Iwate Prefecture, an 81-year-old woman was killed by a bear inside her home. Earlier this year, a single bear injured 6 people in one day in Akita Prefecture. 3 of those attacks happened right in a residential neighborhood, near shops, homes, and even a hospital. These aren't remote hiking trail encounters. They're happening closer and closer to where people live, work, and sleep. In Fukushima Prefecture, a man came home to find a bear in his living room with his head inside a kotatsu, that heated table found in many Japanese homes. The next morning, police used firecrackers to scare it out. Wildlife staff then tranquilized and relocated the bear. But perhaps the most surreal and saddest case happened in Akita Prefecture last December. A bear wandered into a large supermarket, raided the meat and dairy sections, and disappeared somewhere inside the building for nearly 2 days. It took a drone search and food traps with honey, apples, and bread to lure it out. And unfortunately for the bear, it did not end well. It was killed after it was captured. So how is Japan responding to the bear threat? Well, the government is trying to keep up, but it's not easy. In February, a revised wildlife protection law went into effect. As of September 1st, it allows local governments to authorize emergency shootings by recreational hunters when dangerous animals like bears or wild boar enter populated areas. But this isn't a free-for-all. Officials must confirm that the animal can't be safely captured and that no bystanders are at risk if a firearm is used. Some municipalities are also testing AI-assisted surveillance systems. These track bear movements near farms, roads, and residential areas, and can trigger early warnings for local patrols. The Environment Ministry is offering subsidies for bear drills, training programs, and wildlife response teams. In Hokkaido, the local government is even recruiting new hunters, holding public events on how to safely track and handle brown bears. Still, not everyone agrees with this increased focus on killing. Groups like World Wildlife Fund Japan are pushing for a longer-term fix, setting up buffer zones to keep bears and people safely apart. What if you come face to face with a bear? It is summertime after all, and heading into fall. The cooler temperatures will mean that people are getting out more into nature. So what should you actually do? Public broadcaster NHK recently aired a program offering some advice. Bears usually want to avoid people. If they hear you coming, they'll often move away. Carry bear spray, a whistle, a bell, or even a radio. Don't hike alone. Traveling in a group lowers your risk. And avoid hiking at dawn, dusk, or in the evening when bears are most active. Now, what you shouldn't do is just as important, but maybe a little harder. Don't run. It can trigger a bear's natural instinct to chase. Don't make eye contact either. It can be seen as a threat. If you do see a bear, back away slowly. Try to stay calm and avoid any sudden movements. Of course, not everyone follows that advice. In one case, a karate black belt fought off a black bear by striking it in the eyes. In another, a 63-year-old man used a judo throw while picking mushrooms. Both survived, and it's probably become more public lore than anything else, with no sources to back it up. But wildlife experts are clear. Please don't try that. Bear encounters in Japan are not just rising, they're changing. Bolder behavior, more urban sightings, and more danger for people and bears alike. This is a story that's not going away anytime soon. Thanks for watching Japan Today Spotlight, and from the Japan Today newsroom here in Tokyo, I'm Jeff Richards. See me next time.